Welcome back, you guys. You're listening to the Shmee podcast. I am your host, Sam Pelissero, at Sam Pelissero on Instagram and at Shmee podcast. Today, I am joined by the one and only
Karina Duffy.
Hey, she's back 3 times. Third time.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's the charm, baby.
I'm very excited. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having me back. I'm so happy to be here.
Of course. I know. I mean, luckily, we've been able to see each other more than others have been during quarantine.
Absolutely. Safely.
We did a drive-up meetup, which was really fun.
That was so nice to see you.
Really
You were like
nice.
one of the first people that I saw. So that was really enjoyable that like I've missed so much.
I know. What else? We did my birthday party.
Oh, that was so much fun. Oh my gosh.
I got very intoxicated. Which I don't drink, so it was definitely like a
you were like get into another form.
Yeah, I was like voguing. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I've got literally a 3-minute video.
I'm like this whole routine.
I was filming the entire time.
You're like kickball change, kickball change.
Step 1, 2, kickball change, and you were on it though.
I was. So one of my most favorite gifts that Karina surprised me with was not only did she give me a box of goodies, and there were 7 things in there, but she gave me 7 balloons. And if you guys know, and you've heard our podcast episodes, if you're not, go back to listen to episode 7 and episode 16. We have an obsession with the 3 numbers 7 in that 777 continuous order.
Jackpot, baby.
And jackpot, lucky, she's so lucky. She's a star. But she cries.
Britney Spears.
Yeah. And which, have you seen like the mess?
Girl.
I left my candle burning and I accidentally burned my gym down.
I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck just happened? What
I don't
did I just
understand.
watch?
I can't not follow her though, because her content is just, it's like.
Did you see what happened the other day when she was out of quarantine running around a park?
I did.
With a mask on? I'm like, what the fuck?
My favorite thing that she does is her fashion shows.
Oh.
Her fashion shows, she uses her hallway or her balcony outside of her house as her walkway, and her young, gorgeous, by the way, boyfriend.
Whose name is Sam.
Whose name is Sam. And he's her like personal videographer and like hype man.
Yeah, which is great. It's great to see a healthy relationship with her. But I'm sorry, but she ain't right.
Her makeup crew ditched her very clearly. Her hair and makeup crew just
did you see she has a gap now?
What?
So apparently
she does.
So apparently
gotta love Britney though.
Well, I mean, of course, but I didn't know this, that she's always had a gap. But for her entire career they did bonding. So they just bonded the gap and they didn't actually fix her teeth. So because she's been in quarantine, she doesn't have to go anywhere to look a certain way.
So she's just been chilling.
So she has her natural teeth again, which is very interesting because you would assume that someone being one of the biggest pop stars of all time, but even in her heyday, that they didn't just say, here, we're going to throw some braces on you for about a week, straighten your teeth out and call it a day. That they just were bonding like the gap in her teeth, which is so fascinating, right?
That's so interesting. Yeah. I had no idea.
As Miley Cyrus, they gave her a whole new set of teeth.
Oh yeah, they like went all out on her.
Cher, it's like veneers, but with Britney Spears,
Cher is a national treasure, and nothing can ever happen to her.
No.
She's 73.
I know. If she could turn back time.
Wait, she was the first concert I ever saw.
Where'd you go? Where the hell was she?
I was very young. My mom took me.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, what a great first concert.
Interesting. Huh, the more you know.
The more you know. I'm actually working on putting together a set list, actually, of songs written by Diane Warren. If you're not familiar with her, go look her up. She's amazing. And she actually wrote If I Could Turn Back Time.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Wow.
So I'd rather do songwriters rather than a highlight of a specific artist, especially if they're still current and they're, I don't want to be, I don't mind being a tribute artist, but I feel like also songwriters don't get the proper credit.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. A lot of times they don't want it.
And they don't want it. I mean, they get a lot of money. So
they're
chill. They're just like, well.
I used to have this idea of, Sam, get good at songwriting because then you can just live off of that. I mean, there's so many artists, and it's really fascinating to see artists try to go from being a essentially a ghostwriter, but they're not ghostwriting because they're not hiding who wrote the song.
Sure.
They just don't want the publicity of it all.
Sure.
But sometimes it works in their favor when they do that at first, and then they become a big mainstream artist.
Like
Sia. But other people like Bonnie McGee. She wrote most of the songs for Kesha, Britney Spears. She tried to have her own career and it flopped because she just didn't have that oomph to be
her own solo performer.
But she still writes songs to this day. Like most of Katy Perry's songs too. She writes most of Katy Perry's songs.
The lead singer of One Republic, Ryan.
Ryan Feder.
Oh yeah, he's another one. I listened to the Songland podcast.
Oh, okay.
Because
never heard of it.
There's a TV show on NBC called Songland, and it's essentially a reality show for songwriters.
Oh.
Apparently very good. I haven't watched the show yet, but the podcast
is great.
Is amazing. And Ryan, I listened to his episode recently, and it was so fascinating to hear about his whole process and his whole story. Because One Republic is a pretty relative band. They're pretty big. Yeah. But to know also that he had written XO for Beyonce
and Halo, I think.
Halo, yeah. So it's interesting how they all are intertwined with each other. Like, and you know, for that writing process, he and Pharrell and Sia and Jay-Z, they were all like in this massive mansion on an island, and Beyonce was just like with her dog, like strolling through the halls, just like doing her thing. And I'm like, could you imagine?
Did you know that Sia's song "Alive" was originally it was written with her, Adele, and someone else. Someone else was there, and it was originally wrote for Adele's previous album that just came out, I think about 4 or 5 years ago. It was written for that album. Then after Adele had recorded the whole album, it just didn't fit. And that was what inspired Sia to then release her second album called This Is Acting. Because all the songs all in that album were specifically wrote for another artist. They weren't just songs that she wrote. So that's why it's called This Is Acting. Because she wrote all those songs in the voice of someone else.
That's
Cheap Thrills, the reason why it popped off was because she wrote that for Rihanna. So when you listen to it,
that makes sense.
Yes,
that makes
Alive
a lot
was for
of sense.
Adele. There's another one on there that was for Demi Lovato. So then you hear these songs and you're like, oh, she was writing for essentially that character.
Correct.
And so it's not Sia, and that's why I love Sia. Is because one, she's an amazing singer, amazing person, and she writes some of the best songs.
She's genius,
hands down,
absolutely genius. Her album with Labyrinth.
Oh my God.
And Diplo.
Well, there's one song called LSD on, or is it?
That is that's the album.
The album is LSD. Okay.
Yeah, because it's Labyrinth, Sia, and I want to say Diplo.
I want to say Diplo too, but it doesn't sound right. That sounds too obvious. Look it up. Yeah, of course, look it up.
I gotta look it up.
But the one song. I want to
say it's Diplo though.
The one song off the
album is like
so good. But what's the main single off the album?
There's Audio, Thunderclouds. There's
Thunderclouds. That's it.
I want to say it's called It's Time. Genius is my favorite by far.
No, I love Thunderclouds. That's my jam.
It is Diplo, yeah.
Okay, it is Diplo, yeah.
It is Diplo.
And it's just so fun that they went for that LSD theme. So all the music videos are those pastel colors.
Yes,
so cool.
She's genius.
So genius.
Oh my God, I love her.
Yeah. Music. I love how we started talking about music. I love it. No, I'm so happy. We went from making fun of Britney Spears' gym burning down to talking about music, which I fucking think is the coolest thing ever.
Because Britney's a national. She's the root of it all, really.
It's what I do sometimes is I look back at old Britney Spears interviews when she was so much more laid back and not having gone through lots of trauma.
Right.
And it does make you sad, but then you also realize that what is unique about Britney Spears is even outside of all the fame, all of the fortune, all of the glamour, all she ever really wanted was just to have a life with some kids and a husband.
Oh yeah, ultimately that's all she wanted.
She ever wanted. And that's what she's basically doing. She's basically in the mindset of, I just want to be left alone and do my thing, make my weird Instagram videos, not have to have another Las Vegas residency, and just live happily ever after.
I also think that she, at the same time, wants to stay super relevant because, as they say in Hollywood, especially, like if you're off the grid for 2 weeks or not present or making headlines or being talked about, you literally get forgotten about. That's like when Justin Bieber
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Like everyone was like, Justin Bieber, who? Like, oh, I forgot he existed.
Which they still should, because he's still not a great person, but we won't get into that.
Still not the best.
Still not the best. But I think she's trying to like also stay relevant, because like you think about it, like people give her so much crap for when she like shaved her head and they like made like a whole big deal. But I'm like, you understand that she had a mental breakdown, because you understand like she was a product of a label from as young as like 14, but even earlier than that, from the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah.
She's a product of a culture that wanted to build her into something, and they make a character out of you. Like think about all the famous pop stars. They have a character name, and people get so stunned when they're like, oh, Katy Perry's name isn't really Katy Perry.
Of course it's not.
You know, Lady Gaga's name isn't really Lady Gaga. Like, nope, her parents didn't write that on the birth certificate. Sorry to disappoint you. But like you realize that like you think about the mental toll, and like once you're out in the public and your name is out there, your privacy is permanently
gone, forever,
disintegrated.
Because unfortunately,
gone.
You can't be upset about that. That comes with
that's the risk that
it's the price you pay for fame.
That is
100%.
And your mental health needs to be the priority, and you need to learn how to draw that line and put your foot down. Of no, I'm not doing that because of XYZ. But they manipulate it. Obviously, it's a big control game too. And that's what happened to her. And I feel like she literally has an identity crisis, because she genuinely does not know who she is.
Well, did you ever hear the story that the hairdresser shared about like when that was going on?
No, I didn't.
She has gone out publicly and said Britney Spears, she was very sound mind when she came in.
Really?
She wasn't acting crazy. She flat out said, I just want to start fresh. Yeah. She was just, let me shave it all off myself, because I want to shave it all off.
And then, of course, the media just...
Oh, no, they warp it, of course. And I see that as that was her Phoenix rising moment, where she had to kill herself off and die and come back. Because that's just I feel like at some point, everyone's ego needs to die.
Absolutely.
There has to be a point in your life where you need to just, I guess it's like a funny way to say it, but file for bankruptcy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Put a stop to everything that's going on. Put a halt and a jolt and a cut it out. And start new. Yeah. I remember, I think it was 50 Cent or Gucci Man, one of those rappers, a couple years ago filed for bankruptcy, right? Yeah. And everyone all over social media was saying, oh my God, I'll just say with 50 Cent. I don't know, you guys.
We'll go with it. If we're wrong, just correct us.
Yeah, correct. So they were saying, oh my God, 50 Cent is broke and et cetera, et cetera. And he came out publicly and said, no, I'm not broke. He goes, I got money in the bank, but I'm filing for bankruptcy to put a stop to things that I no longer want to be in my life. Ooh, he goes, there's a lot of businesses that I'm affiliated with, and et cetera, that I don't want to be part of. And the only way for me to get out now and not in 10 or 20 years when these contracts run out is just to file for bankruptcy. Yep. So I'm going to do it because I don't, who cares?
Monetarily, that's just like the smartest thing to
do. Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, oh, that's his shaving head moment probably.
That's his shaving head.
Like, get it out. Like, let me do it. Give me the buzzer. I will do it.
Start fresh.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. That makes so much sense, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, on the topic of ego death, because that's a very spiritual term.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Let's catch up spiritually.
Okay, let's
because
do it.
You are becoming my, I guess not the Shmee podcast spiritual advisor, I guess. Because every time you come on, we just talk about
there's always something funky going
spooky,
on.
Ooey topics.
There's always something weird going on.
So since the last time we recorded, I have a new tattoo on my wrist, and it is 777. And I got it as part of the Shmee spirituality investigating documentary. And what's so interesting about it is, since I've had this tattoo, I see 777 less often, but
really,
when I do see it, it is in a more meaningful way, where it is the universe telling me yet again, you are on the right path. Because it'll always be, because for a moment there, I was seeing it all the time, and it was getting overwhelming to the point where I was doubting the believability of it. Because I really do believe in numerology.
100%.
And I got to the point where I thought, am I now looking for it? Am I looking for the 7s when I want to find the 7s?
Right.
But then I got the tattoo inked into my skin for the rest of my life. And
forever.
Yeah.
You'll live forever. Forever.
If you can quote that, you win some Shmee bucks. I don't know. We're giving away Shmee bucks now. And so I stopped seeing it after I got this tattooed.
Mm-hmm.
And then it started popping up recently again because I'm doing a lot of things I don't feel like doing, thinking that, what's the point of this? And I'll see the 7. And I go, oh no, like the universe saying, no, Sam, you're meant to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I was recently working on this project for work and it sucked the house. It was one of the worst projects I've ever had to work on. And we're like out in the field, 80-degree days. My scalp got burned because I had to shave my head. And I was not wearing my hat. I'm so embarrassed. My hair is crazy. Oh no!
Damn, your hair's so short. What are you talking about?
No, it is fluffy and crazy. I forgot to wear my hat for the video. Anyways, continuing. Oh God, I'm mortified. I just realized I'm not wearing my hat.
You should see Sam's head. It's shaved.
And I meant to wear a hat because it's at that weird stage right now, and I'm not seeing the barber till next week. Anyways, continuing on with the story. And we're at this house, and I'm so exhausted. It's like halfway through the day.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm just thinking to myself, I just want to quit. Fucking house number was 774 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like look over, and then the cop car that was with us for this shoot was cop car freaking 77.
What?
So the house number was like 74, and then the cop car was 77. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the right place at the right time.
Okay.
I'm meant to be here. I went to the dentist, and I hate the dentist.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been judged at the dentist. I don't know why. Dentists just do not like me. They always
Sam, you have a beautiful smile.
they always read me to filth. And I don't know why. I'm like, why are you coming for me?
Yeah, I was just in your bathroom, and the floss is like overflowing out of the garbage.
I take my gums very seriously. And, which is funny, because the dentist just on Friday said, you have great gums. And I said, thanks. But so I was just so scared to go to the dentist again, because every time I go there, I always feel so shitty. They always find something wrong. And they found a couple things wrong, but we're not going to get into. But so, they're getting it fixed, don't worry. But this is the first experience where not only did I enjoy them, but they enjoyed me. They said, we want more patients like you, Sam. You're so positive. Like, you're the energy we need in here. And I sent you what I'm about to share with the podcast.
Yes.
But so I'm alone in the exam room. There's no teeth posters. There's no, do you want Invisalign posters? There's none of that stuff on the walls.
No,
it's
like
just
health
me.
Hazards.
Nothing. Nothing. It's just me on the exam table and like the sink. And there's just this plaque. Because I guess the dentist loves golf. And it's like one of his golf plaque awards or whatever it is. And let me pull it up because I can't remember the exact phrasing and I want to get it right. But guys, who obviously had 3 7s in it. And so, oh my God, it was so
also,
weird.
Your tan line, Sam. Did you put on sunscreen?
I did. Okay. Oh, okay. My hair is crazy. My tan is crazy. For those watching the video at home, you're like, yeah, Sam looking rough the house.
No.
Okay.
My tan's fading and peeling. So
no, I did, but that's where my bathing suit cut up. Okay, listen.
So funny.
Well, I mean, look at that. I know. Anyways, okay, so the plaque says his name, and it goes, hole 17 on June 7th, 2017. 777. What the hell? And I know that was right because I was so apprehensive to go to the dentist, and I was way overdue to go to the dentist.
Right.
And I finally went, and I felt like that was the universe saying, Sam, yes, you are supposed to freaking be here, because he found some things that he's gonna fix in my mouth that were, if I had waited any longer, that I didn't know was going on, would have been very detrimental to my health. Nothing crazy, just like a cavity or two that was like really bad, but it was like one of those micro cavities where you can't really see it. So
annoying.
Which is not like I'm getting like fixed. It's not a big deal. But he's like, if this had gone on like a few more months, it would have been a root canal, which then it could have been like a loss of a tooth. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta stop eating so many gummies. I mean, I don't eat gummies, dentist. I only eat water. You know, like I'll tell you whatever you want to hear. Just fix my mouth.
Just fix it, please.
Fix my mouth is a weird sentence.
That was
Fix my mouth.
Fix my mouth.
Fix my food hole. Oh, I hated everything about that. I hated myself so much. I'm sorry.
You made me squeeze laugh on the hair.
And that's the podcast of the day. Bye, guys. Musicians and mouth holes. I'll see you guys later. Oh my God. We have to get back on track. Okay. What the hell is this episode about?
Musicians and mouth holes. Oh, man.
I'm dying. Oh, Shmee. Okay.
Shmee.
We're supposed to be talking about psychics today, and we haven't gotten there. Okay, so point is, 777 has completely infiltrated my life. And I'm now starting to see it again, which I'm really happy about because I missed you, 7, and welcome back to my life. So, Karina, share with them what you'll be getting.
So, in addition to, I think I have a list of 11 or 12 tattoos that I took some time throughout quarantine, like sketching out and drawing out and laying out. So any tattoo artists out there, hit me up. I'm looking. So one of them, in addition to those, will be a 777.
So cool.
To match Sam. I don't know
cool.
exactly where. I think I'm going to put it on my wrist here because I have a plus sign, the positivity, which is actually the first tattoo I ever got. And this has actually become a very symbolic tattoo.
Cool.
Changing meanings as time has gone on. It's taken on a lot of different meanings.
Cool.
So I think that's an appropriate spot because... And also, I think for me, I don't know if anyone else out there is like this, but whenever I discuss like tattoos or potential tattoo ideas, they say like when you're talking about the tattoo idea out loud and your first instinctive spot that you point to or wherever, that's normally where you end up getting it. 'Cause it's like intuitively where you just like automatically, you're like connected to that spot. Like whenever I was talking about, so this is like a small plus sign. You literally...
I couldn't even zoom in on that.
You couldn't even zoom in on this, but it's literally in the corner of my wrist. And that was just the place that I always would point to.
Cool.
So I think that's where I'm going to get mine. But I definitely wanted to get that for Sam because that was a continuous theme. And it just, every time Sam would see 777, he would send me a picture of it. And anytime I would see 777, I would text it to you. I think I was in New York City with one of my girlfriends and we were going to see... we were going to see Jessica Vosk in Sarah Bareilles. Like,
freaking love the two of them.
Oh God, she's
her final performance of No Good Deed Goes Unpunished and Wicked, and it's like obviously on bootleg on YouTube, but the way those riffs, she's like the riff queen.
Her voice is actually insane. She's giving online voice lessons as well, starting in June, and I want to take
amazing.
I want to take one with her so badly.
Cool.
But she we were in the city to go see Jessica, and we were walking on the street, and the transit buses were parked on the side of the street.
I remember this. I'm getting chills already thinking about it.
And
I remember this.
There were 3 7s. Literally, there's 2 7s on the back of one on the bus, and then there was a 7 in the top right hand corner, and then one on the side. This bus was like covered in 7s. And I stopped in my tracks, and my girlfriend just kept walking forward, and she's like, I think she was in the middle of telling me something, and I was just not next to her after a certain minute.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm just like, my phone
so
like frazzled. I'm like, I gotta take a picture and send it to Sam because this is like, we were just talking about you, or you had come up in conversation, and you and I were talking, and the 777 popped up. But anywhere I see that, and I don't.
It's always a good time.
It's always a good time.
Yeah. Like when I went on my work trip, my flight was Boeing 777.
Yeah.
And then the taxi service outside of the hotel it ended with 7. Oh, no, it was like taxi service 777. It wasn't even a phone number. It was a literal, like that was like the 3 numbers for that taxi service.
And when I had started my business branding and I'd chosen a Google phone, like you can do like a Google Voice, like a phone number. And I like, for some reason, I needed to keep it consistent and have 3 7s in the number. I had to.
You just need to. Like whether you force it in or not. Like, you know,
it gave you the options, and I was like, that was the only one that had 3 7s in it. So I was like, I'm just gonna take that.
Cool. Well, my friend sent me this on her way down to Florida the other day.
What is this? Oh my God, that is a lot.
So many 7s. It's so a billboard, and I don't know what the first 3 numbers are because they're blocked, but the last what is that, 7? I just realized it's 7 7s. It's something 0 7 7 7 7 7 7 7.
Yikes.
And she goes,
chills.
I know. She goes, Sam, I feel like I'm in danger today. I keep seeing sevens. And I said, no, that's a good thing. That means you're on the right path. She goes, good, because we're driving down to Florida right now. Oh, and then so then that was halfway through their trip. Shout out to Carolyn and Mike yet again.
Hey.
This was the Wi-Fi code for their room. Their Wi-Fi code was 7777.
What the hell?
My friend Julie just bought a house. There's 2 sevens in the address.
Oh, weird.
And she's a new 777 believer from the podcast. So since she's seen that, she goes, oh my God, our apartment number is 7. She was like, all these other 7s are in her life. And it's because she's on the right path. Guys.
Follow the 7s.
Follow the 7s. Don't follow the 6s. Don't follow the 8s. Follow the 7s.
Oh, how's your mug, by the way?
Oh, it's great. Oh, it's at work. I keep it at work to keep it positive. And I discovered the heart you drew on the bottom the other day. Because I put it in the dishwasher and I was like, oh, there's a heart on the bottom.
I drew all of them.
I know, guys. She got me one of the 7 gifts was a coffee mug and she wrote 7s all over it. And it's so colorful and I love it.
Good.
I'm sorry. Were you watching that? Well, the full-length episodes of Shmee are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor.fm. So if you don't want to have FOMO and be missing the rest of the party where we're playing games, sharing more stories, and more of me, then head over there and I'll see you. Links are below this video. And if you want to support this podcast, head over to Anchor.fm where you can donate money to make Shmee even better. All right, I will see you guys there. Bye! Seriously, what are you waiting for? Go!